all repeat after me. It's time for revolution.
More monuments and statues or symbols of the Confederacy were removed in 2020 than they were in the previous 4 years combined. A total of 168 symbols of the Confederacy by the Southern Poverty Law Center's count were removed from public space. We count that as a tremendous victory.
In 2020, at least 160 Confederate symbols were taken down, as well as some of the Founding Fathers' statues. In addition to that, many Americans do not dare to voice their opinions in public because they worry about being accused of political incorrectness. While some people are self-censored, others cannot express their opinions because their accounts on social media have been taken down. Many elder Chinese perceive the recent events as a cultural revolution occurring in the United States. But might there be a cultural revolution happening in the US? And do we have a cultural revolution like that which happened in China? It's well known that the Cultural Revolution happened between 1966 and 1976 and lasted more than a decade. There are different opinions on why the CCP and Chairman Mao Zedong launched the Cultural Revolution, but most historians agree that Mao used the Cultural Revolution to strengthen his personal power and dictatorship. Among the many vicious things Mao did, one was that he postulated a theory that capitalists were still fighting with socialists in China. So he used the media, primarily newspapers and broadcast at the time, to make the public believe that the Chinese government was going to be taken over by capitalists, especially those who held high positions. Mao successfully split the public into two factions, with each side believing they were the real revolutionary Red Guards for Mao, and they treated their opponents as capitalist enemies. They fought each other so brutally that at least 1 million people lost their lives in the violent fights during the revolution. During that time, many people wanted to be more revolutionary than others through divorcing spouses, breaking engagements, or breaking away from families. Many people were jailed or died in prisons because his or her joking words or daily doings were reported as anti-revolutionary acts by spouses or children. Many people were sentenced simply for accidentally inking or damaging a photo of Mao, incidents which were reported by friends or family members. There was a girl named Li Juliang in Jiangxi province. She was a Red Guard leader in the beginning, but she gradually felt something was wrong about the Cultural Revolution. In 1969, she was arrested as an anti-revolutionist because her fiancé reported that she questioned the Cultural Revolution in a letter to him. In prison, she was brutally tortured and eventually executed in 1977, at age 31. Another more vicious thing Mao did was that he set off the Posiju movement, or Four Folds movement, to destroy all religion, morality, and traditional culture. Mao encouraged Red Guards to break Buddhist statues and Confucius temples, kill many religious clergy, force people to give up their beliefs, and eventually brainwash people to believe in Mao Zedong and communism only. The movement thoroughly ruined all traditional Chinese beliefs and morality that had been passed down for thousands of years. Since then, most Chinese have become atheists and hold no moral bottom line in all doings. As a result, in recent years, many products in China are intentionally made with low quality to reduce the costs. Food products have been tainted with harmful chemicals. Some scholars were found cheating in research or stealing others' results, widespread government corruption, and so on. There were many more bad things which happened during the Cultural Revolution, so it was a real nightmare to many Chinese people. With those memories, when elder Chinese in the United States saw some American youths shouting on the streets and breaking into stores, they found these scenes to be overlapping with those of the Red Guards. Many elder Chinese in the United States found their families and many Americans' friends' families starting to have an invisible wall isolating their children. The wall even formed among many bipartisan friends, family members, and even between couples. Often, members of one group would avoid talking about politics in front of the other groups. To the elder Chinese, this echoed back to the CCP's Cultural Revolution. An 18-year-old Texan boy, Jackson Reffitt, reported to the FBI that his father was at the Capitol on January 6, and a Massachusetts girl, Helena Duke, also 18 years old, turned in her own mother, uncle, and aunt to the FBI for the same reason. Duke even posted a video on Twitter showing her mother at the event and publicly ridiculing her. When elder Chinese watched these reports, they felt they were watching many Li Jiulans being arrested again. Furthermore, when elder Chinese watched the US founding father statues being pulled down, they were reminded of Confucius temples being torn down. They knew that Mao destroyed Confucius temples in order to use communism and Mao Zedong-style thinking to replace traditional Chinese culture and beliefs. Now they, and many Americans, wonder what is really happening in the United States, and what is really behind the chaos.
Nazis go home! Nazis go home!